Now I like to have Alessandra, the young lady over there on stage. I already have a spare microphone for you. So we are working on microphones. So the Hive sign or the Hive words, letters are reassembled again, so it looks close to lovely. I will have Alexandra for two speeches on the stage. The first one is that she talks about more than the apps, so building and sustaining Hive through strong communities. You all know communities are king. We did a lot of things in communities. I spent several years to even build up my beer community with now more than 2,000 people who are active worldwide. Especially if I never had the idea to build a community, it's a nice achievement. But we will hear a little bit more whenever the fight with the badge is won by, hopefully not the badge. Alexandra, come on stage. We talked about a few things you do, and I already have a list of activities you are in. So I try to find out where is the secret fun fact about you. So you are a futurist, you are a founder, you play classical clarinet. One more member for our Hive band, by the way.
Is there a Hive band?
Now we form one. We have to bring the band back together for the
Okay.
people who know the movie. You're an architectural designer, so the next house will be built by you, and as well a voice actor. I saw the microphone on your neck the other
Yeah.
day. Yeah, yeah.
I've never worn one of these before. Am I too close to the mic?
No, it's fine.
No, it's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, is there anything what you as well like to tell us what you're doing?
I would. Collaboration is also a king. And with clarinet, classical clarinet, one of the creators that came into the community was a composer, but he hadn't composed in 15 years. And our working together in community, he didn't know what I did. I didn't know what he did. But over the course of our working together in community, there's now a piece, a full concertino that's been written that I am premiering in Europe, in England.
Cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to this.
You never know what's going to happen.
That's the beauty of Hive or the beauty of life, however you name it. You are as well quite active with the exhibition we have over there.
Yes, yes.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, I would. My good friend Shadow's Pub is creating generative art every single day. And that's just the jumping off point. We thought it was, oh, she's going to be an artist. No, that's just the jumping off point. And so she was already working in NFT showroom, and I was like, oh, good for you. I don't get it. And then Crimmy comes up with the idea that for HiveFest, we should submit art and have an exhibition.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, well, how will this art be shown? Well, don't ask Max Starkey anything because he'll put you to work.
Okay, for everybody who didn't know what's going on, the top floor over there, there is some art waiting for you to be visited, to be interact with, to be seen. So from there, I'll leave you the stage. Here is the clicker if you accidentally have some
I
slides.
want the click. I've seen clicker disasters. Can you give me the clicker tutorial?
I think you have to click here if there is a cat, for example.
There's the cat.
Yeah. If you click back,
Here, show me.
that direction,
Yeah.
and that direction goes back because this is the first slide. There won't be any other.
Okay, let's see if I can do it.
Perfect.
Do you believe in me?
I believe fully in you. Otherwise, I'm close by somewhere
I'm
in the
sorry.
shadow.
Epic fail. What am I going to do?
Click here.
Oh, on the right side, sweetheart. Okay.
Yeah. So otherwise, might be a pointer which is not easily to handle in the sun.
Okay. Am I going backward? Nope. Going forward. Is this back and that's forward?
Yes.
Well, tell somebody.
I think you have to point there because
That's
there's
right.
a computer where the device is hanging out. It worked all the other times quite well. You can handle it. If not, somebody will hit the go
I
forward and
think I'm on
backward.
it now.
Perfect.
Back is left, forward is right.
You have as well designing communities and that last roundtable, which I like to join because I run a community, which
Yeah.
will happen after your talk.
Yeah, so we won't even take a break. We'll just move right over to the tables so that we can team up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to work with you in design thinking, not for dev work, but design thinking for designing communities.
Okay. Your stage. Feel free to give your speech around 20 minutes or whatever you need.
Okay, thank you. Well, hi. Getting an idea of where we all are? Yeah. I'm Alessandra. And there's people that I have met here before, and there's people that I have met for the first time. They call me Dan, welcomed me to Rosarito back in July. He bought me the best Mexican lunch I ever had in my life. That led to falling in love with the place. I've met Brian of London. He was a guest on our show called HiveSpace, which is one of your sponsors for HiveFest. We had a blast. It was like we knew each other already. Let's see if there's any other. Yeah, so it's kind of nice. I didn't know any of the Hive personalities. I didn't know the names that everyone else knew, so I didn't know any better than to ask them onto my show, and nobody said no. So what I want to talk to you about today, I love this cartoon because I always thought if I ever get over my bad self, I want to do a TEDx talk. Oh. So here is my motivation. My talk today is about subverting power structures by withholding affection. I love it. All right. So, more than killer dApps. So things can work perfectly, but if you're a bore, you don't want a second date. Things can crash epically, but if you're irresistible, you've got no worries. So I want to be able to talk to you, teach you, have you teach me back in the next session where we're at the round tables about how to be irresistible and how to make yourself useful. I can barely read it. So Creative Work Hour is the community that I designed using design thinking. And what it's about is it fills the need of creatives that need a structured, safe, non-isolating experience to do their best work. And it's not that, oh, I'm going to make a commitment, I'm going to do 30 days in 30 days. No. This kind of group, because we're all creatives, we're all content creators, and we're a sensitive bunch. We like it when we're upvoted, we love it when there's comments on our work, and we get all bent out of shape if there's a downvote or nobody pays attention to the work. Why? Because it was a risk. It was a risk to create the work to begin with. So what's the big deal about that? Well, a risk is, biologically, it's a threat. So for those that want the freedom to express more easily, you need safety. Okay, a good playlist helps, right? So if I have to wrap the whole thing up into one, I'm an industrial designer. So I use design thinking, which you probably think of dev work, but I use design thinking for even psychological hang-ups that I have, because it's an approach. And it works like, okay, what is the pain point that I'm having or you're having or we're having together? What sucks? And once you get that nailed down into, like Matt has taught me, 10 words or less, then you can define what the problem to solve is. But we're going to do more about that later. Yeah, so one of the problems that I had to solve that I couldn't do on my own was the problem of polymathy. And you've all heard of it, just maybe by a different name. It's a multiple disciplinary interest syndrome. It's a mouthful. So polymathy for short means that you're really into, you've got a thumb in many different pies. Now, that could be a sign of ADHD, or that could not be a sign of ADHD. It could be beside the point. But what is good to know about it is that it's okay to say that it's a dirty little secret. Especially if we've come from a country where it's not okay to express emotions, or if it's not okay to express, can I tell you something? I'm really fucking good at this. That's not okay in some cultures. It's simply not. And dare we not go there, but how dare you attempt to be good at more than one thing? We kind of want you to fail so that we can relate to you and you're no longer a threat to us. That's the idea. And I did not make peace with it until after I used design thinking to create the ideal community to fix the pain point that not he had, but that I had. So I had to get real personal, real quick, and real honest. I love this. I picked a song for myself for HiveFest 8. And I love the Santana version of it, not because he used to be my neighbor, but because it's all about that we're all one community. We could be of Cuban descent, we can be of American descent, we can be of African descent, we could be of this and that and the other, and polka dots and stripes and all that and more. But we're all the same people. We get out of bed 1 foot at a time. When we get sick, we try to recover. That's the nature of community, is that we all have the same thing. So, oye, como va? Means listen, come and listen. Come and listen to my rhythm. I want to play this for you. And Dan may go, okay, that's cool. I want to play this for you. And he may play poker at me. That's going to happen. There's going to be a poker game. It's going to be great. Monday night, right? Yeah. Now, I know it's really bright out here, but this is the first time that anyone has seen this piece of art. It's generative, which sounds like that would be easy. It was not easy. This piece of art expresses what it is to have a creative work hour experience. Because our communities, they're not about, I'm like you, and I'm like you, and I'm like you, and I'm like you. That's not going to hold attention for very long. What will hold attention is giving an experience that people will never forget. And when you create for experience, you create for breakthroughs. This is the picture of what it's like to have a creative breakthrough. Like, you can tell there was like some weight shed, some blood bled, some sweat, and she made the damn thing. And now here we are at HiveFest, and whatever she has made, when she sees through to posting it, she's actually going to give it to people who actually give a care about her. That's the experience. We want to be cared about. Another new piece of art. This is 2 of 8 that you'll see before we go into our roundtable work. So I want you to bear with me. We're going to do something together. Is that okay? If you're not into it, that's cool. Just try not to check your phone, turn it over. Because what we're going to do is we're going to turn up the dial on experience. Okay. So this is what we do in Creative Work Hour every day. We have people who've never done any kind of a breathing exercise before. They've never done any kind of meditation before. We just show up, and for only 3 minutes, only 3, we have an experience together. And so here we go. If you want, you can turn around and look out at the sea and just listen to my voice. You do not need to look up here. If you want, you can close your eyes and just listen. And for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to take you through to the state of mind that you'll want when you're working on your own ideal community. So here we go. I'm going to be real quiet at first. And when you're ready, breathe in through the nose with your mouth closed. You can have your eyes open or closed, but just breathe in. And hold that breath. In other words, let the breath hold you. You feel the breeze against your face. You hear the water lapping. You're still holding your breath. You hear the music playing. And with the next breeze that hits your face, I want you to blow out through the mouth. Here we go. Again, in through the nose. And hold it and roll your shoulders up if you have that range of motion. And then roll them back, if that's okay for you, and let your shoulder blades slide down your back. And blow out through the mouth. And as you do that, if you want, you can put your hands on your hips, blowing out. Last one, and then we're done. Hands on the hips, in through the nose. Hold that breath. And as you blow out, empty your lungs completely of all of that old air. Your human experience is literally different now than it was 3 minutes ago. Your heart rate is lower, your blood pressure is lower, you're more mindful, you're very aware of the breeze and the music and the shore, you're very aware of the sunshine, and all of those things bring a more satisfying human experience and help us to be calm. When we're calm, we can create things. And when we create things, we can work through that next hurdle of how to post it on Hive. That's a friction point that we can work because we're all together. There are those of you that are great at onboarding. Whoever you are, please, please come up and meet me later on, because I need your help. I've been running an onboarding program for Hive for a year, and I still think I suck at it. So I need your help. Okay, thank you. All right, so this picture here is all about the creative home. And the creative home is a safe place, and this is what we imagine in Creative Work Hour. We do our little breathing exercise, and then I say, actually, at the end of some hard work or tasks, you've come home to your creative home. And we all live in this place together. And in this place, you have your own bedroom. You have whatever kind of bed you want. The whole closet's yours. The drawers are all yours. You can leave your backpack in the middle of the floor. We don't care. It's your space. We honor that. Just like your blog is your blog. Your gaming is your gaming. We honor that. We're never going to touch that. But also what we have here is the enjoyment of watching one another work. So sometimes we do that with cameras on, sometimes we do that with cameras off because we're working in a Zoom environment. I can tell you this. In the last year and a half, there have been over 300 people sign up to think about joining Creative Work Hour for one session. 211 actually have done that. But in any given day, there's less than 10% of that. Now, why is that? It's because it's working. It's working. What works about the experience is that it is completely safe. And if there were screens of people, it wouldn't feel the same, would it? So that's part of the experience. Let me move on. This is something that we all know, that Hive success depends upon building community. Building dApps that work help too. Now, a year and a half ago, I'd never heard of Hive, I'd never heard of blockchain or Web3. When I did hear of it, it was because I was taking classes with a lot of techies. And I would say, what's Web3? And then I couldn't feel my feet anymore and understood nothing. So I'm like, okay, you're just not the right person to explain it to me. But this went on for months. And as shy as I am, the day came that I just said, well, that's it. I heard that Twitter Spaces is a thing you can turn on and you can talk to people. So I turned on Twitter Spaces and I said, hi, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that can explain Web3 to me. And Shadow's Pub showed up. And in normal, everyday pedestrian language, requiring no computer science degrees and no self-taught, any of that, she simply explained to me what the ecosystem of Hive was about. That simply it's built on blockchain technology, which makes it where the things that we create in that environment are never stolen from us, they're never changed, they're never adulterated in any way. They belong to us till the bitter end. But then this happened. She started using words like hard fork and legacy chain. Web 2, what the hell's Web 2? Tokens? What the hell is an upvote? People do not know this. They do not know this. The people walking down the sidewalk right here, people don't know that. Now, because we're a tight community, we speak the same language, so now it doesn't freak me out when you use these words. But at first I was like Sandra Bullock in the movie where she enters rehab, where she's just like staring at the mental health professionals saying, I hate how you people talk. Mental health. Literally had a mental health event over trying to learn this on my own. So the result in community was that we did it together. So I want to be able to share this next piece of original art with you, which is about the foundation of Hive and on which it's built. It's built on personal empowerment. It's built on trust. It's built on safety. And it's built on collaboration. Because collaboration, like what I was sharing with Detlev about classical clarinet, meets a composer who thought he'd never be able to write again, came a dreamlike opportunity to create something that would not have happened if we hadn't had a Creative Work Hour and Hive experience together. You can see some of our favorites right there. You got Podping. Hey, Brian. We've got Leo. I think the like to icon looks extraordinarily nice next to the 3Speak icon. We've got PinMapple there because I can't figure out how the hell I'm supposed to use that. I want to. I'll use the hell out of it, but I don't get it. This next piece of art is, this is Web 2. You see, it's all moss grown over and moth eaten, and we're sick of looking at those icons, and it's a way. We wouldn't have gotten to where we are in quite the same way. But that's Web 2. Web 3, from what you can see in the bright, bright sun, is a much more calm environment. Hive is the overarching architecture, and there's blocks, and there's projects, and there's dApps, and there's people, and there's communities, and there's laughter. There's HiveFest. There's friendships, and I can't wait. Who knows? We could come back to this very stage for, again, what looks like a wedding, and is a Hive one. Wouldn't that be fun? So these are the things that I focus on in my work, whether it is with my Hive hat on or my Hive and my Creative Work Hour hat on, is I want to calm the anxiety that I felt so that people can become comfortable with the terminology, that it's okay to have tech anxiety. I want people in Hive that haven't used a computer in 10 years. And the reason why is because I was one of those. I became very sick for a long time, and nothing was working, and I wasn't healing. And I thought, that's the end of being able to do higher level things. But what we have, with support, you can learn how to do anything. I just needed to chum up with some buddies that were good at that. And 3 times a week, that's exactly what I do. So I know how to do all kinds of computer things. And there's all kinds of computer things I have no idea. And it's all okay. So having a space where it's good to unlearn, learn, and grow is what we're all about. So what we saw in the art earlier on, with all of the rooms and all of the creators working in their own spaces, this is you. And you could be working on a VR game. You could be world building for the next Splinterlands. You could be rocket building. You could be doing all of those things during the course of the hour. But in the last 5 minutes, just like now, we all come back together as community. We meet every single day. There's no commitment on anybody's part but mine to be there, have a safe space where you belong, where you can work through whatever it is that you're working on. But we all look to the center, and this community was built before we ever knew about Hive. So instead of building it from the center of Hive, we've built the community, and we're bringing the entire thing into our world of Hive. So that's what I have for us, folks. Thanks to Shadows Pub. Hey, Shadows. Hey, Jennifer. Thank you so much for your artwork. It is simply beautiful. It is stunning. It is stunning. And when I go up there to the 8th floor of the Coronado building called Hugo's, there are chairs at the end of each section of the artwork of the NFT showroom. And I will be there all I can be. And when I'm there, I'll have my computer with me. I'll be able to show you that art in full high-def color. Hive Space is our space on Twitter where we talk about all the things that people need to know. And if you are particularly good at explaining things about Hive, or you've become particularly good at describing your dApp or your project on Hive, please come and be our guest. You will never have so much fun being a guest in an audio space. There we go. That's where you find us, at lu.ma/creative work. Thank you.